I really enjoyed a chocolate chip cookie mystery, and I'm really happy to say that because I actually bought the complete 5-film collection for Murder, She Baked. A few weeks ago, I watched a plum pudding mystery, and I will say don't watch that one first because something is mentioned really briefly in passing in that film, and I was concerned that it was a spoiler for this film. Not that I'm blaming them for the spoiler because they are designed to be watched in order, but it was Christmas and I thought I'd watch it. So I can't really say that I worked out who was responsible for the murder in this film because there was something in the second film that led me down a certain path. I don't know if I would have had certain suspicions otherwise. So the point there is that if you're going to watch these films, and so far I recommend them, although I've only watched 2, I'd say watch them in order. This one was released in 2015. It is, of course, a Hallmark film. It's directed by Mark Jean. It's written by Donald Martin, based on the novel by Joanne Fluke, and we have a cast including Alison Sweeney as Hannah and Cameron Mathison as Mike. And Hannah owns a bakery, and quite a while into the film, actually, the pacing was quite slow to begin with, but I have to remember that this is the first in a series, so it did take a bit of time, I guess, to set up the characters. Because I'd seen the second film, I didn't need that, but I can understand the slow pacing, and as long as that's not the case going forward, I can be okay with that. But eventually, she finds one of the delivery drivers shot, and obviously the rest of the film is trying to establish who did it, and she works... Well, I was going to say she works alongside Mathison's detective, Mike, but obviously he doesn't necessarily want her involved. And this is pretty classic for Hallmark mysteries. We have the amateur sleuth trying to help solve the crime. The detective doesn't want them involved in this because they're just going to get in the way. But then they begin to see that actually the amateur sleuth might have some value. And that's certainly the way it plays out here as well. So if you're a fan of Hallmark mysteries in general, I think you'll really enjoy this one. With regards to the specifics of the mystery, I would say I don't think I would have worked it out. Not that I was 100% confident with who was responsible, but there were a few suspects based on something I learned in the second film, A Plum Pudding Mystery. And I feel like I probably would have come to a similar conclusion, but I don't think it would be completely obvious. But it's hard to judge since I had a little spoiler already. But in general, I'd say it's well written. We do have quite a variety of suspects, which works really well. It's always very boring if a mystery only really has one main suspect and then it ends up being them because there's no fun in the journey there. But here, there were definitely several different threads, and I'd say there were at least 2 suspects where I thought it genuinely could have been one or the other. So I enjoyed the journey with this one. The pacing to begin with absolutely was very slow, but as I said, I can maybe understand that if they're trying to establish, spending a bit of time establishing the character and her environment and what it's like for Hannah on an ordinary day, and then throwing in the mystery. But as long as the films going forward are a little bit better paced, then that's absolutely fine. Hannah is a very likeable character. She had a very genuine response to this. She cried, I think, on several occasions, and was very stressed and I guess scared by the situation. And I really appreciate that because there are some Hallmark mysteries where the protagonists seem to be unfazed by having found a murdered dead body at that, and that's a little bit unrealistic. But Hannah's response here felt very natural, very believable, and her curiosity to play the amateur sleuth here, I think, also was very believable. Also, it made me want cookies, and that's probably going to be the case going forward for the rest of the films. It will definitely make me want sugar. So not a film to watch on an empty stomach unless you don't mind eating the cookies. I enjoyed it. I had a feeling I would because I liked A Plum Pudding Mystery. I did wonder if I only liked that one because of the Christmas aspect, but I'm also a big fan of Hallmark mysteries in general, so I was happy to purchase the 5-film collection. I've done an overview of that if you're curious to see what that's like, and I'm now very excited to watch the final 3. There are technically other films in the series. After, I think, 2 or 3, maybe longer, year hiatus, it came back as, I think it was called Hannah Swensen Mysteries. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know why they had a title change or anything. As far as I can tell, they're not available in the UK at all. Murder, She Baked is only partly available in the UK. You can pay to stream the first 2 films. as I said, I had to buy the complete box set so that I can watch the other three. And based on Plum Pudding Mystery and also A Chocolate Chip Cookie Murder, I'm really looking forward to the other three. This one was an interesting narrative, several suspects to keep things interesting. Definitely don't watch the second film first because it will spoil a little bit of it. But as I said, I don't blame the film for that. They are designed, for the most part, to be watched in order. And I think it combines the best of sugary sweet Hallmark with a pretty compelling murder mystery, and I rather enjoyed it. Hannah's a very likeable protagonist. Mike is very likeable. They work well together. Keen to see that relationship develop, and looking forward to more going forward. And for now, I'm of course very happy to recommend Murder, She Baked, A Chocolate Chip Cookie Mystery.